There are two criteria in determining seed to be harvested: visual observation, theoretical observations. Rice harvest period can be seen through the appearance of rice on a stretch on rice fields. Optimal rice age when 90% to 95% of paddy grain turn into yellow and golden. We can also determine the age of harvest by looking at the rate of grain loss of around 16 to 30% by squeezing rice panicles. Theoretically, rice is ready to be harvested when the plant is 30 to 35 days after flowering or 135 to 140 days after planting. How-to harvesting. There are two ways of harvesting, using manual and machine method. In manual method you can use sickle. Sickle cutting the mature panicles and straw above ground. In machine method you can use a machine named combine harvester. The combine harvesters combine several operations into operating system, such as cutting, feeding into threshing mechanism. Threshing, cleaning, and discharge of grain into a bulk wagon, or directly into bags. Straw is usually discharged behind the combine in a windrow. Post-harvest handling method are collecting, threshing, drying, cleaning, milling, and packaging. Sometimes after drying the grain directly stored at the warehouse, the harvested grain was collected to be threshing and cleaning. This is thresher. Thresher separating the paddy grain from the rest of the cut crop. The threshed grain then collected to be cleaning and drying. Drying. The next step to do is drying. Drying in post-harvest handling is very important and critical, so it must be done properly and correctly. The purpose of drying is to reduce grain's humidity from 13% to 14% for long-term storing. The right drying procedure will result in good quality grain. We can drying the grain on drying floor which made of cement, cleaning the cement floor before drying the grain. The grain pile's thickness is 3 to 6 centimeters and carried out on sunny day from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. Flip the grain every 2 hours so the grain dry properly. And the water content is about 13 to 14%. Tips and tricks for manual drying. 1. If using drying mat, such as plastic or tarpaulin, make sure the soil underneath is dry. 2. Avoid overheating by temporarily covering it with a tarpaulin or making a thick pile 3 to 6 centimeters. 3. Keep away from the animals. Grain cleaning. Grain cleaning after harvest is important, as it removes unwanted materials from the grain. Clean grain has a higher value than grain that is contaminated with straws, chaff, weed seeds, soil, rubbish, and other non-grain materials. Grain cleaning will improve the storability of grain, reduce stockage at time of milling, and improve milling output and quality. Grain cleaning can be done manually and using a machine. Manual method is done by sifting, so the clean grain are separated from dirt and empty grain. This is critical step which can determine to the final quality. This is grain cleaning by cleaning machine. There are 3 things to consider when cleaning grain. 1. The cleaner machine must be clean. 2. Divide the grain based on its variety for seed. 3. The source of grain must be clear and traceable. Now, farmers have started using machines to dry grain. The grain obtained from the paddy fields is directly transported to the factory to be dried. Freshly harvested grain usually has a moisture content of 24 to 26%. This grain needs to be cleaned through a process of sieving and magnetic separation to remove dust, husks, nails, etc. Furthermore, the moisture content needs to be reduced to 13 to 14% before the rice can be stored. Milling. Milling is a crucial step in post-production of rice. The basic objective of a rice milling system is to remove the husk and the bran layers and produce an edible rice grain that is sufficiently milled and free of impurities. If only the husk is removed, then brown rice is the product. If the rice is further milled or polished, then the bran layer is removed to reveal white rice. Packaged grain are ready to be stored in the warehouse. Grain that have been processed, stored in the warehouse. Pay attention to the piles and the distance between the piles. Maximum pile height of sacks is 4 meters. The horizontal distance is 1 meter maximum, and the vertical distance from the roof is 1.5 meters. Don't forget to use a pallet or wooden base. Keep on room temperature. There are no piles attached to the wall. Packaging is the last step to do. Packaging is the activity of taking rice out into the packaging, so the rice is not scattered and is safe for consumption. For packaging materials we can use plastic, and packaging machine we can use vacuum machine. The steps of packaging rice with vacuum rice are: 1. Taking and weighing the rice as needed. 2. Seal it using a vacuum machine. 3. Repackage using secondary and tertiary packaging materials. 4. Rice ready to be marketed.